There is no will but God's. What's good, fam? We made it to lesson 74 of A Course in Miracles, and we are going to be building off of yesterday's lesson, and we're going to understand that there is no will but God's. And I want to read something from yesterday's lesson because how powerful it was before we read today's lesson to help us understand that our will and God's will are one. Now, yesterday we read lesson 73, which is I will there be light. Me and you will for there to be light. We want to be enlightened. We desire this state of mind. We intended this state of mind. We planned for this state of mind. We designed this light that we are in right now. This is our will. This is God's will for us. Now, I'm going to repeat what we said yesterday, and this is from yesterday's lesson. We will begin our longer practice periods with the recognition that God's plan for salvation and only His is wholly in accord with your will. It is not the purpose of an alien power thrust upon you unwillingly, which most people believe that's what God's will is an alien power thrust upon ours unwillingly. No, it is the one purpose here on which you and your Father are in perfect accord. So we will there be light. God wills there for us to be in our light and understand that we are light, and that is our will as well. There is no other will but God. There is no other will but ours that we share with God. Me and you are one with God. We share the will of God, and me and you fell asleep to that fact for a little bit, and we are here remembering that today, that there is nothing that we want. There is nothing that we want that is apart from God. Only whenever we are identified with the ego is that so. When we're identified with the ego, we think that we're going to find salvation out there. We think we're going to find something that's going to make us feel good enough out there. We think that we're going to find someone that's going to complete us out there. We think that we're going to be enough out there. We think we're going to feel fulfilled or be secure or protected out there, when really only the love of God will sustain you and me. And that is our will, to remember that we are already all those desires that we are searching for out there. We are already all those attributes that we are searching for out there. We are already perfect, whole, love, light. We are all of those things that we are searching for out there, because remember, the ego's doctrine is search but do not find. So when we're sleeping, aka when we identify with the ego, aka when we think we are this body and this is the end of us, and we think we die and we're no longer, and we're here no more, and that's the end of our existence. What a sad way to believe. What a sad way to think. That is, when you're thinking that, you could be certain that you are not thinking with God, because that is not truth. First of all, that is not how this is designed. That is, your downfall is impossible, because God would not create an environment God would not create an environment where His Son was capable of being destroyed, because that would mean that because you are an extension of God, a part of God would be destroyed, and that cannot be, because that is not God's will, and that is not your will. Me and you are eternal, and we cannot stress that enough today, because when we know that, then we understand more and more that there is no other will but God's. There is no other will than the one me and you share with God, because God's will and our will are one. When we are in our right mind, we have to understand that. And whenever we think we want something out there that is going to make us feel just like a little bit more good, a little bit better, a little bit more enough, then we have definitely attached ourselves to the ego, because again, seek but never find. Now, again, I'm not saying none of the things out there in this world are bad. We can go have those experiences, and we could have whatever it is that we want in this world, but we have to understand that we are already perfect right now. And there's two ways of going about this. We can either A, be the type of person who goes and chases all the success and the materialistic things out there and looks for salvation in them, meaning looks for happiness in them, looks for sanity in them, looks for love and all these things out there in the world and achieve them, but we are doing it so full of emptiness within because we're not sustained by the love of God in that moment because we fell asleep to that fact that that's all that can sustain us. Or we could be person B, which is me and you, who know this and we are sustained by the love of God and we know truth and we know who we really are and we achieve all the success out there that person A is achieving, but they are not doing it with the fullness that they could be doing it with. Again, there's nothing wrong with any of those things out there. All of this stuff that we see, although it is nothingness and an illusion, at the end of the day, it's not about what we see out there more than how we perceive it, because how we look at it is letting us know out where we are perceiving with. Are we perceiving with God and the Holy Spirit and who we really are, or are we perceiving with the ego and that false sense of self that we made at a very young age? Which perception are we viewing from? Which sunglasses are we viewing with sunglasses on tinted, or are we viewing with vision with no sunglasses on, seeing purely? We have to understand that. But second of all, we have to understand that everything that we see in this physical world has emerged forth from the oneness. So it's not bad. None of that stuff's bad out there. All we're saying today is that whenever you feel like you need that to be enough, that's the wrong way of going about it. Not wrong, but that is the unnecessary way of going about it. That is the way that you did not intend to go about it before you stepped in this body. You knew that you would be sustained by the love of God. You knew, and I knew, that we would be in this state of enlightenment because, remember, me and you will there be light, and we knew that we would have a great time in this play of consciousness with one another, experiencing one another, experiencing all the things that this world has to offer, and experiencing the contrast and understanding that that's all it is a contrast that allows us to give birth to new desires, that is the catalyst for our growth and expansion. This world is very fun, very simple. We're going to dive straight into the lesson, but just know that we will be having a lot more conversations like these for our time that's remaining. Now, again, if you got the book, you already know where to go. If you don't got the book yet, the PDF is in the description. And again, a little friendly reminder, it is much more powerful if we view these words together. So although you could hear me read them, it's going to be most beneficial for the both of us if we're both looking at these words together, because now we could actually activate them. We could see them and we could absorb the fullness of them. And I be getting too excited sometimes and stumbling, so it's better if you read these words, because you'll be like, that's not what the book said, you just stumbled. So you gotta let me know. All right, let's go ahead and begin. The idea for today can be regarded as the central thought toward which all our exercises are directed. God's is the only will. When you have recognized this, you have recognized that your will is His. The belief that conflict is possible has gone. Peace has replaced the strange idea that you are torn by conflicting goals. As an expression of the will of God, you have no goal but His. You are an expression of the will of God. Me and you are expressions of the will of God, meaning me and you are, God created me and you in His image. He wanted that. God created us out of love and with love. Me and you are God's will, and there is no other goals but His, but we fell asleep to that. Now we're running around this world like chickens with our heads cut off, thinking that we could accomplish something other than what God wills, and we are never going to succeed. There is great peace in today's idea, and the exercises for today are directed towards finding it. The idea itself is wholly true, therefore, it cannot give rise to illusions. Without illusions, conflict is impossible. One more time, without illusions, conflict is impossible. Let us try to recognize this today and experience the peace this recognition brings. Begin the longer practice periods by repeating these thoughts several times, slowly and with firm determination to understand what they mean and to hold them in mind. There is no will but God's. I cannot be in conflict. Then spend several minutes in adding some related thoughts, such as, I am at peace. Nothing can disturb me. My will is God's. My will and God's are one. God wills peace for his Son. During this introductory phase, be sure to deal quickly with any conflict thoughts that may cross your mind. Tell yourself immediately, there is no will but God's. These conflict thoughts are meaningless. Now we're going to pause right there and we're going to understand what we talked about closing yesterday's lesson. These are our tools. We just got 3 tools thrown at us just now. If you read the italicized portions of these texts of this lesson, there is no will but God's. I cannot be in conflict. I am at peace. Nothing can disturb me. My will is God's. My will and God's are one. God's wills peace for his Son. God wills peace for his Son. And then also, there is no will but God's. These conflict thoughts are meaningless. We have 3 tools so far with this one lesson that if we really implement, we can use these, which is great, because whenever we fall asleep, which is going to happen, we have to be aware of that because we've practiced fear and that thinking for so long that right now we are currently in the deconstructing process of getting rid of that old fearful thought system and replacing it with truth. Now, because we have thought this way for so long, again, we're going to bring up the analogy with the neural pathways, which is really not an analogy. It's really happening whether we're aware of it or not. Our neural pathways have been so long firing and wiring in that direction of fear, meaning it's easy for us to go down that highway. It's easy for us to go down that road. It's easy for us to think those thoughts of worry, doubt, and fear because we've done it our whole lives, which means that it's going to be super easy to fall asleep. And that also means that it's going to require me and you to have willingness to wake up. We're going to have to be willing. Now remember, beginning this work, it is going to take a little bit more willingness and the beginning processes just until we build up enough neural pathways on this side of the road that we deconstruct this one. We're not really deconstructing it. It's deconstructing and withering away and dying it from lack of attention because all our attention is pointing this way. And life is who me and you are. And wherever we're directing our attention, we are flowing life. We are flowing energy. And wherever we are not directing our attention, no life can flow that way. Meaning, if we have given a lot of our attention to something previously and we remove our attention from it, it is going to wither away and die because we are not feeding it no more. We are feeding this way. We are building these new neural pathways. So that way, sooner than later, you're going to wake up one morning and it's going to be easier for you to think these thoughts than those ones. And then give it some more time, and then sooner than later you're going to wake up one morning and you're going to understand that those thoughts were so funny. They're so funny to look back on now because you understand what they are, which is not real. They are illusions. They are of our own making. And because me and you are constructing this new highway, and we've been doing a very good job, by the way, this has become our pattern. We are beginning to understand that, oh, this is the way I want to go. This is the way that's most beneficial for me because this is my will. And although I may not fully recognize that yet, it feels right that this is my will. And that feeling is an indicator letting me know that this is the path of least resistance. This is the path that I want to go on. Anything that causes me to feel worry, doubt, or fear, or any form of fear, any form of upset is in that way, and that is not the way we want to go no more. So let's be glad that we have all these tools to use when we fall asleep. We're going to be aware when we're asleep or when we're in the process of going back in that direction, and we're going to snap out of it and use these tools, and we're going to work out, so to speak. We're going to work out and exercise this ability and muscle of ours to the point that whenever we reach 50,000 miles in the air, we click autopilot. If you've ever been on an airplane and you fly, you know that it's going to take some energy. The pilot is going to take energy. You got to put the gas. You got to work your way up there. But when you're up there, you you press autopilot, and now it's just floating amongst the clouds. They turn the seatbelt sign turns off, and you get to go walk around, go use the restroom, go get some snacks, go get some drink, whatever it is that you do over there in the plane. But that's what we're doing right now. We are going to enjoy the fact that we just took off, and we're gonna give gas. We're gonna give all our gas. We're gonna give all our attention to this information until we reach the level where we can press autopilot. And when we press autopilot, we're chilling. We will never have to do this again, although we probably will want to because of the satisfaction that it brings. But when you reach that level, your seatbelt sign will turn off. You could get up and walk around in this world, and you're awake, you're enlightened, and nothing can throw you out of balance because you're on autopilot. You have developed a whole new thought system for yourself. And this is something that we don't have to develop, which is the cool part. We don't have to develop this thought system. This is just a return to love. Me and you are returning to who we really are. It's already here for us. It's already made. It's already constructed. God is here waiting in heaven for us to be in this state of mind. It's already given to us. That is our inheritance. God's like, here you go, my son. Here is everything that you desire. Just come this way and you will have it all. You don't have to design it. It's already designed. It's already created. However, me and you created, not really, we miscreated, if you will. We made all these images in our minds, these illusions of the worry, doubt, and fear. And over time, we thought this so much that we obscured our inheritance. We obscured the vision of our inheritance. We can't see what is really ours. We can't see who we really are no more because we've thought this way for so long. So the fact that me and you are going full throttle up right now, and we're going to click autopilot and we can kick back and coast, I like the sound of that. And I hope you do too, because we're not far from there. And I really hope you know that we are not far from there. If there is one conflict area that seems particularly difficult to resolve, single it out for special consideration. Think about it briefly, but very specifically. Identify the particular person or persons and the situation or situations involved, and tell yourself, there is no will but God's. I share it with him. My conflicts about blank cannot be real. Now, let's go ahead and apply this together real quick so we understand and get a clearer grasp on how to do this when we do it individually today. So I'm going to go, okay? There is no will but God's. I share it with him. My conflicts about money cannot be real. My conflicts about Amanda cannot be real. My conflicts about person, place, or thing, situation, circumstance, event cannot be real. Remember, me and you are only at conflict with ourselves ever. Although we think that we're fighting against that person outside, remember, me and that person both originated from the same creator, the same source, meaning that I am one with that person. And if I see something in them that is unpleasant, I'm really being reflected back to me what I projected on them first. Because if I didn't project nothing on them, I would see them for who they are, which is love and light. So the fact that I see something other than love and light is letting me know, ding, 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 this is your work. You have projected something on that child of God over there. They are love and light like you, but you can't see that in this moment because you have made an image to cover up what God would have be there. So go ahead and understand that your conflicts about this person are really your own internal conflicts, and thank this person for reflecting back to you what that internal conflict is. And now you can give that away to the Holy Spirit. You can give it away to God. You can give it away to Jesus. You can give it away to whoever resonates with you, but just know that there is a higher power ready to take that grievance of yours, ready to take that conflict of yours and throw it out the door and help you be purified from it, so that way it will no longer push your buttons again. Because remember, God wills for me and you to know that we are love and light. Now, we have to understand that because we have been thinking with the false sense of self for so long in this world of fear, and we have made illusions for ourselves, although God doesn't will for his son to be asleep, we have free will. Me and you have free will, meaning God can't come in and assert himself in our life and take that away from us. No, as bad as he may want to, that will go against his will. That will go against his will of you being made in the image of him, which is being free. So as long as you, when you are in your illusions, give that up. If you feel like you need help with the situation, just make it known to the Holy Spirit. If you will, we're going to use the Holy Spirit. Use whatever resonates best with you, but just know that you are going to make it known and allow it to be released from you. You don't have to do this alone. You have the power of the universe at your command, and whenever you begin to put that power to work, it will work for you. If you don't put it to work and you want to take on the job of doing it all yourself, you're going to get what you ask for. But if you understand that this universe is working in concert to assist you and you have help right now at your fingertips, use that power, take advantage of that power, and it will be there to assist us. After you have cleared your mind in this way, close your eyes and try to experience the peace to which your reality entitles you. Sink into it and feel it closing around you. There may be some temptation to mistake these attempts for withdrawal, but the difference is easily detected. If you are succeeding, you will feel a deep sense of joy and an increase in alertness, rather than a feeling of drowsiness and enervation. Joy characterizes peace. By this experience, you will recognize that you have reached it. If you feel yourself slipping into withdrawal, quickly repeat the idea for today and try again. Do this as often as necessary. There is definite gain in refusing to allow retreat into withdrawal, even if you do not experience the peace you seek. Now, one thing I do want to say before we continue and conclude today's lesson is these lessons are not here to help you detach from the world in a way that you are withdrawing and you are just hibernating all day. Like, these are here to help return to love, to help wake you up to this joyful state of mind where you could go take inspired action, you could go get things done in this world, you can go do and have whatever it is that you desire. This is not us denying this world and acting like it is not here and like withering away in our little corner. That is not what this work is doing. It is actually us denying the denial of truth, meaning our whole life we have been denying truth, meaning we have been identifying with the ego, seeing from a false perspective, and we have been thinking that it's real. Now what our work now is to return to truth, and this is where your vitality is, your energy, your creation. This is not saying, oh, the world's an illusion, so I'm gonna go in the corner and understand that I'm gonna meditate all day and I'm just gonna be in my little zone. And like, no, we're not getting to that point, and there's nothing wrong with meditation, but we're just saying that we are not denying this world. We're just being made aware that this world is our making, and we are going to learn how to conquer what we made. We are going to be in control of what we made here. We are not going to allow it to control us. We are the thought that every single form that we see proceeded from. Every single thing that you see began as an idea. Me and you are in control here, so we are not going into withdrawal and just meditating 24/7. We are here to remember who and what we are, the power that lies within us, and we are going to learn to direct that power and create, because you are a creator. You cannot help but create. And our whole lives we have been miscreating because we cannot help but create. Creation is our will. God is creator, and he created us in his image, meaning God created us, and now we create like God. Now, we fell asleep to who we really are for a good portion of our lives, and now we have been miscreating and making images in our minds that are not really there. So although we can reduce our creative power to almost nothing, we cannot abolish it. We cannot help but be creators. And what most people are doing, including ourselves at one point, is we are perceiving with the false perception, with the ego, and we are creating from that perspective, but we cannot really call that creating. That's actually miscreating, because we're making something out of fear. We're making something out of lack. But whenever we return to our awareness of who we really are, we're finally in the position of to create again, because now we are creating out of love and light, and we are creating to benefit the whole of all that is. Now let's go ahead and continue. In the shorter practice periods, which should be undertaken at regular and predetermined intervals today, say to yourself, there is no will but God's. I seek His peace today. Then try to find what you are seeking. A minute or two every half hour, with eyes closed if possible, would be well spent on this today. And that is the end of lesson 74 of A Course in Miracles. This was a very powerful lesson today. I had a lot of breakthroughs. I know you had a lot of breakthroughs. We are going to take in all this information. We are going to absorb it. And if we need to come back here again to be reminded of everything we discussed, we will simply replay this video and do it again until this becomes internalized information to where we no longer need to watch this video. My goal, if you are not ready here with me right now, my goal as a teacher is to help you become independent from me as quick as possible. Now, keep in mind that my goal as a teacher is to let you know as well that I am no different from you. And if you are in this state of mind with me right now, then we are one. We are equal. We have always been equal. I am not better than you. I am not less than you. You are not better than me. You are not less than me. Me and you are equivalent. Me and you, at the very core of who we are, is one. Now, although me and you may appear different with our physical eyes, with what I'm wearing, the color of my skin, the gender that I am, the body that I have, whatever it may be in this world that makes it appear that we look different physically, remember, I am not this body and you are not your body. You are the life that animates that body, and you, which is the life that animates that body, is eternal. And whenever that body is no longer here, you will still exist. And so will I. Me and you are the same life that animates these bodies. Although we appear separate, me and you are one. So, again, one more time. If you are here in the remembrance of who we really are, then we made it. We're here. This is it. This is the real world. Congratulations. And if you feel like you are not on this level just yet, my goal is to help you become independent from me as quick as possible. Meaning that I don't want you to watch these videos every day. Like, I want you to not need these. I want you to understand everything that I have internalized and come to know as true, so that way you can perceive the real world and not be shackled in the illusions that you made for yourself. So I'm here for you, and we're going to do this together. We are going to wake up from the prison that we made for ourselves. We are going to return to who we really are, and we are going to practice this state of mind on such a consistent basis that we will never fall asleep again, because we have practiced this for so long. It's autopilot, and I promise you that that is closer than you may think, because waking up can happen in an instant. It happens quick. And I'm pretty sure you've seen that. It doesn't take any time for a miracle to occur. And a miracle, all a miracle is just a healed perception. Meaning someone could be dead asleep one moment, and something could be said or done in this world that snaps them back to the recognition of who me and you are right now. Love and light. That's how fast it takes to get into this state of enlightenment. Now, what me and you are working with now is maintaining this state of enlightenment forevermore, meaning we are working on being anchored in this state where nothing can throw us out of balance. Meaning if something can throw us out of balance, that is what me and you need to work on. That is what we need to forgive. That is a grievance that we hold. We need to forgive ourselves. We need to forgive that person, the situation involved. We need to apologize to that person. We need to apologize for ourselves, not directly to their face, but conjure up that image in your mind and do it as if they were in front of you, and set them free, set yourself free, and you will be free. You already are free. Me and you do not have to do anything to be who we already are. All we have to do is release the images that are blocking us from perceiving that that is what's happening right now, and that's what's always been happening. So today was a very great lesson. We're going to conclude it right there, and we will meet here again tomorrow for lesson 75 of ACIM.